I'm from Brooklyn, and usually people don't need me to be mic'd. But first of all, I want to tell you it's a delight to be here, and we always love seeing Gay and Will, and all our friends that we've known for 45 years. Hey, friends. Hey. Nancy and I are not experts on comparative religion. We're not here for that. And in fact, the only reason we're here really is to maybe create learning issues for you. You said you like to have intellectual challenges. So, maybe this will be an opportunity for you to learn more about other people. And Nancy and I love diversity, and we have no political, religious, or social agendas. We just love it. It just enriches our life. It doesn't have to be a reason, really. It just makes life much more fun, much more interesting. And Nancy and I, we got married originally 40 years ago with a rabbi and a priest in front of a tie-dye wall hanging, very similar to that Nancy made. And we got married in our apartment. And we just got, after 40 years, we just had our recommitment ceremony, which we had a Hindu ceremony. Because, when you have a recommitment ceremony, you can do whatever the heck you want. And we did, and we had Gay and a Lama, right? Yes. We had a Hindu priest, and in fact, this is, Nancy made this Nehru jacket for me, and she made her bridal sari, which she's not wearing today.
I have Christmas and Hanukkah.
Right, she's Christmas and Hanukkah, and I'm Diwali and God knows what else. When you look at all the different holidays and all the different foods, whether they're Hanukkah, the latkes, potato pancakes, or whether they're Diwali food displays, really, and all the gifts and celebration. I guess my basic religion is anything that has gifts and food, count me in. How did this begin? It began because I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, can you tell? And when I first came here 45 years ago, I noticed that there was no recognition of any other holidays. In fact, when I mentioned this, like I go to the libraries or the schools and say, I have a program, Holidays of the World. They said, well, we already do it. I said, and they told me what they did, but it was Christmases of the world. It was Christmas in Germany, Christmas in Japan, Christmas. I said, that's not Holidays of the World, that's Christmases of the world. So it really stimulated. We've been doing a program for 45 years for children, and we go to libraries and schools and churches. And what stimulated, the immediate stimulation for it was that the first year I was in Augusta, and a Hindu family put up Christmas lights, so-called Christmas lights, in October. And all the neighbors heckled them how, look, they don't even know Christmas in December, and there was no thought given that it may be their own holiday, Diwali, which is in October or September, whenever. So, that I said, well, we need to do something. So we did start a little program, and it's been very successful. And the reason why we love it is because when you go into the schools and see a Hindu child or a Muslim child or a Buddhist child have their religion recognized in class, their face lights up. No one's ever done it before.
Bill,
Yes.
can I invite the children, if they want to come down here and
Well, I was going to invite
Oh,
them.
okay.
But no, actually,
I don't want them to miss anything.
Joe and I have been already spinning the dreidel. I've been practicing with them. So, the biggest effect, and this is what I want, I guess I'm here to say, if we can do it, and we don't know very much, then you can do it. What can you do to encourage more understanding in this world? And the biggest effect that the programs have are not on the kids, but on the parents of the kids. So, for example, we have all these cards I pass around to the parents to read, when Here's a card that has a menorah and a Christmas tree, and it's for kids that celebrate both Hanukkah and Christmas. Happy, holiday happiness. And here's an Eid card, Eid, Muslim card. Eid brings us closer together, brothers and sisters, friends and family, united in faith, joy, and thanks on this happy and blessed day. Eid Mubarak, that's the greeting. So we pass, that could be a Hanukkah, Christmas, or any card, And Hanukkah cards, a Diwali, here's a Diwali card. From our home to yours. May the festival of light bring gifts to us all, happiness to fill our homes, prosperity to fill our lives, and love to fill our hearts. That could be a Christmas card. And you know what the biggest thing is that the parents say, where did you find those cards in Augusta? I go, duh, the Hallmark store right in the Target shopping center. These things are there. You're just not looking. You're just walking and buying them. So cards and foods and lights. So I'm just going to talk a little bit. This is not a lesson in different religions. It's just a little bit to stimulate your thinking about it, and maybe you look something up and do something. Kwanzaa. We're not going to light all the candles because I felt with all the candles burning, maybe the sprinklers would go up. But we're going to light the first candle. Kwanzaa, it's a new holiday. This is the 60th anniversary of Kwanzaa. And Kwanzaa began the same year as the Black Panthers. It was during that turbulent time in the 60s when there really came to be a recognition of the contribution that peoples make. In our country, the African culture is very rich, and a lot of contributions of art and literature, science, music, and they were never recognized in the Western world. So it's an attempt. Professor Karenga, who is still alive and teaches African Studies at California State University in Long Beach. It was his attempt to create a holiday to focus people on the contributions of Pan-Africanism of all the different countries in Africa. And these colors, the red and the green and the black, they're common colors in a lot of African flags. Originally it was very controversial because originally it was meant to replace Christmas. And it was controversial because originally it was considered to be more of an exclusive holiday for African Americans. But when we celebrate Kwanzaa because all the principles apply to everybody. They're great principles. Begins on December 26th, which, by the way, is the same as Boxing Day. And if you've never had who likes mincemeat pie? But even if you don't like it, the neat thing is on Boxing Day in England, they serve it with sherry. So the more sherry you drink, the better the mincemeat pie tastes. And Gay's mincemeat pies are great. So the candles, they stand for different things, different principles. The first, by the way the candles are lit, the first night, the black candle's lit, and then they go red. Each night, another candle is lit, and the principle for the candle, it may be lit by a child in the family, they may take turns, but they talk about, whoever lights the candles, they talk about the principle. So the first principle is unity. Unity of family, community, nation, race. The second one would be self-determination, which I love because this is big for me. Don't let other people define you. You define yourself. So people say, what are you? I say, you know what? I know what I am. That's the most important thing. It doesn't matter if you know. So define yourself. Don't let other people define you. The third candle, community responsibility, like you're doing, when you have a problem, go seek out answers or help someone else solve the problem. These are all great things. The fourth candle, cooperative economics, open shops, be prosperous for your community. And the fifth candle is purpose. The sixth is creativity, and the seventh is faith. And what happens then, this is usually on a mat. It has symbols of the harvest on it, around it. This goblet is usually filled with fruit juice, and the candle is lit, and then the young kid or a child or an adult talks about the purpose of the candle, and then everyone takes a sip of fruit juice. Being former vice chair of the health department, I recommend separate goblets, which they do. They do.
And the other thing for Kwanzaa too is it's traditional. It's not necessary, but to wear the African garb.
Yes, which is great.
The ceremony. Yes.
Right. Nancy's made me a few things. African prints are fantastic. So then we have Diwali. Diwali is a Hindu holiday, and it's like Christmas in America in that even if you're not Hindu, it's a national holiday. And it's not only celebrated in India, it's celebrated in many countries by many different faiths. There are many versions of Diwali, but they all have as a basis light. The light going from lighting your life with knowledge and love, and going away from the darkness. That's the whole idea of it. This year, 2016, it was October 30th. It's 5 days. And I want to, who knows about Diwali? Anyone? But hi, I've done jazz with him. I invite, who has been to a Hindu temple in Augusta during Diwali? It is fantastic. You must go. It's very welcoming. It's like the Unitarian Church, but in Sanskrit, I guess. It's so welcoming. Nancy, tell them about the food displays.
There's two things that are really outstanding. Number one is the food. Each individual dish that they make. Now they're celebrating the harvest, so it's all different types of vegetables and melons and fruits. They carve the melons and the fruits. If it's a dish, like a vegetable dish, it's arranged beautifully. It has an aesthetic to it. Then each dish is placed on a series of tables that go up to a wall. And they're arranged according to color and design so that all the food is placed together and it paints a beautiful aesthetic picture besides each dish being beautifully arranged. So it's gorgeous. And then the other thing is the symbol of Diwali. One of the things that is done is that, like my husband is wearing his best coat. It's traditional to put on either a brand new outfit or your best and to have lots of gold jewelry and shiny jewelry. So Diwali is a real celebration of light, not just light in the candles, which they do have, but light in what they wear and what they eat too. Everything is aesthetically done. It's beautiful.
You know what? It's a learning issue for you all. Go Google Diwali food display image, under images. It'll blow you away. I've never seen anything like it. And I've been to bar mitzvahs talking about food. What this is, you walk into a room this size and imagine every inch on layered tables filled with food arranged. So the whole room looks like one picture. It is a wow. And then they eat it, which as former vice chairman of the health department, I wouldn't, it was food sitting out for hours, so we didn't eat it. Next weekend. Right. No, we went then to Hunan and had Hanukkah. Well, of course, I grew up in the Jewish tradition in Brooklyn, and Hanukkah, when I was growing up, was not celebrated very much. It's a very minor Jewish holiday, and in fact, it has created a lot of antagonism between different Jewish sects because it's gained in importance to be equivalent to Christmas. I mean, it is true, we never got Christmas presents, you know, and we didn't do any of that stuff. And so modern Jews, they have elevated Hanukkah to this importance where it's not important very much in the religion. But now it serves as this sort of, in fact, the whole idea of saying Jewish Christmas would absolutely make some people turn in their graves. Because the whole idea, the celebration of Hanukkah was, you see, in about 200 BCE, you ever hear BCE? Right, before the Common Era. That's what non-Christians, and the Common Era is CE and BCE. It's not BC and AD. But about 200 BCE, the Syrians, the peaceful Mideast, you know, the Syrians conquered Jerusalem, took it over from the Egyptians. And the first king who did this, Antiochus III, he was very liberal and encompassing and believed in religious freedom. But his son, who probably felt he had to be more powerful than the father, you know, he decided he didn't want any of this religious freedom, and he took the temple in Jerusalem, and they constructed a statue of Zeus, and they sacrificed pigs at the statue, which of course is not kosher. So what happened, Hanukkah celebrates the regaining of the temple and the regaining of that whole area. And
The symbol of the reason why it's 8 days is because they did not have the oil to light the temple. They only had the oil for 1 day. And the oil lasted for the 8 days, that 1 day.
that was the so-called miracle.
It was the miracle.
But that's why there were 8 candles. And here, you know, it's interesting, in Kwanzaa you're allowed to blow out the candles. But in fact, I'm going to take that. We're going to just do the first thing. But in the Jewish religion, you blow out the candles like lightning will strike you. And you wear this yarmulke, it's the Pope beanie, you know. Same idea. And you say a little prayer. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushonu b'mitzvoso, v'tzivonu lahalinei shel Hanukkah. And then you never blow it out. By the way, you notice that you use the shamus is a candle that lights the other candles. You do not light the candles directly. And then you have all the great food, potato latkes, and we have a dreidel. It's a little gambling game, and Josh is going to come on now. Joe. And in fact,
Bring all the kids up and they can see.
yeah. How about come up? Why don't you spin this on the floor? Yeah. Let's see. Come on up. Yeah.
It's like a top.
Can you spin it like a top? Let's see. Let's see if you can do it. Yeah, spin it like a top. I had a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, with dreidel I shall play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, with dreidel I shall play. And then with the kids, when we do the programs for the kids, we have them spin around on their butts like dreidels. Which they love. And you can stay up here. And let's see. Now, Eid Mubarak, Eid. By the way, Eid, that's celebrated, all these holidays, they're celebrated at different times because a lot of them are based on a lunar calendar. In fact, I was going to explain to you how to calculate when Hanukkah was celebrated, but it was so complex, and I've only had advanced calculus. I had no foggy idea. So no, just forget them. Eid, and this, they light lamps. It marks the end of the holy month of Ramadan, and where there's fasting. Eid, it's a 3-day Muslim holiday, and it's during Ramadan that the Muslims fast during the daylight hours, only eating small meals. And by the way, how many of you have been to the mosque in Augusta?
Yes.
It's fantastic. Very interesting. And our family physician, Paul Fisher, he's Muslim. And they give tours, and the community center is named after Paul's son, who was killed in an automobile accident. Which it's a great experience, and again, lots of good food too. So during Ramadan celebrates the discovery of the Quran, and which was when Muhammad, sitting in the wilderness near Mecca, Angel Gabriel. Isn't it? It's so amazing. These are all so related, and everyone hates each other. It's incredible. Appeared to him and taught Muhammad the verses of the Quran by memory, and then he went and he wrote it down. That's how that happened. So I think isn't that 15 minutes worth of sermon? Is that good? I mean, I'm from Brooklyn. I can go on for days. So what we say to you is, let there be light. And what we say to you is, do something more than you've done instead of just talking about it. Go look up a Diwali food display. Go to a Hindu temple. Next year during Diwali, make it a point on your calendar, September, say, I'm going to find out when Diwali is this year, and go. It's a very welcoming experience. And or go to the mosque, or do something simple. There's a little simple thing that Nancy and I do with the kids. It's really grown tremendously, and we really didn't mean it to do. It was just this idea that nobody acknowledged holidays around here. And I hope you all have a great holiday. Thank you. And thank you.